Lair, and I am the Disaster Recovery and Resiliency Program Manager at the Department of Housing. Thank you for attending today's pre-bid conference for bid number 0015-0383, Resilient Bridgeport Rebuild by Design Project. Today, we will be providing a general overview of the project scope of work and discussing a critical component that pertains to HUD Section 3 requirements. Next slide. The Department of Housing is the recipient for the HUD grant for the Rebuild by Design project. In June 2013, HUD launched the Rebuild by Design competition, a multi-stage planning and design competition to promote innovation by developing regionally scalable but locally contextual solutions that increase resiliency in the region. The state of Connecticut was allocated funding to create a pilot project in the south end of Bridgeport. This project aims to create a more resilient South End community by supporting its long-term viability and improving the health and safety for the community's most vulnerable populations. Next slide. So Department of Housing has partnered with the Department of Transportation for construction management services. Hence the reason why DOT is the one bidding this project. DOT will be the lead on this project for all construction management activities, including bid review and awards, submittals, requisitions for payment, and construction inspections, just to name a few. The project design was prepared by WSP USA Inc., our prime design consultant, working directly with their sub, Wagner and Ball, the architect and landscape design consultant. At this time, I want to introduce to you Mr. Richard Pettinelli, our design project manager, to provide a general overview of the project and its scope of work.
Okay, thank you, Mia. Next slide, please. So again, this is the Rebuild by Design project, project 0015-383 in Bridgeport, a CONDOT bid project. Next. So this is a general overview of the project area, and there are three major components to the project that we'll discuss. Moving from right to left across the screen, the first component is the stormwater park, which will be constructed just north of Ridge Avenue. The second component is extension of Johnson Street from Aranistan to Columbia, and that's a construction of a new street. The third component is a pump station to be located at the corner of South and Aranistan, with a force main running down south and connecting to an existing outfall that discharges into the Cedar Creek. Next. So this shows the park and the Johnson Street extension. So the park is basically a stormwater detention pond in multiple chambers. There are amenities and plantings in it because it'll operate as a public gathering spot during dry weather periods. Johnson Street's a local road that will be pushed through from Aranistan to Columbia and a bit beyond. It will be a dry egress route, so elevated to elevation 14. So there is a change in elevation at Columbia. So we will tie in both ends of Columbia and then extend a bit down Johnson Street, existing Johnson Street, to tie in at grade. Next. A pump station, again, will be located at the corner of Aranistan and South. This is a submersible pump station, 3 pumps, valve chamber, and an above-ground control unit and generator. The force main will extend across Aranistan, down the north side of South, and again, tie into an existing but abandoned outfall that discharges a couple hundred feet further on into the Cedar Creek. Next. There is some minor cleanup work associated with this project at Cedar Creek covered by the general permit. There's some debris in front of the outfall that needs to be cleared so that it can be operable again. Next. These are views at a pump station. So it's a relatively small and simple building. It is a cinder block building with some architectural features on it. It will house, again, the generator and controls. Next. So this is the general layout of the pump station site. The building is up to the north, parallel to south. Again, we have the control room, we have the generator room, and there'll be a sound deflecting chamber constructed to the east side of the pump station. Immediately south of the structure is a concrete vault, and that will house the wet well, the pumps, and the valving. Next. So this is a view of the wet well. Again, a valve inlet chamber with a screen, a trash screen, the pumps, and a valve chamber that connects to the force main and eventually out to Cedar Creek. Next. So just to wrap stuff up on this, again, if there's any changes or anything else, please refer to the ConnDOT website for bid information such as schedules and addendums. There is no DBE requirement for this project. The contractor will coordinate directly with DOT, and it will be DOT that coordinates with the Department of Housing. Thank you.
So since this is a HUD-funded project, this project is to be in compliance with the Section 3 federal regulations. So understanding Section 3 is vital for anyone bidding on this project, as compliance requirements is mandatory. Next slide. So Section 3 is a provision of the Housing and Urban Development Act of 1968. And its purpose is to ensure that employment and other economic opportunities generated by HUD funding shall assist to the greatest extent possible and be consistent with federal, state, and local laws, be directed to persons who are low and very low income. And these are individuals who earn below 80% of the area median income for the area where the project is being developed, particularly those who are recipients of government assistance for housing, and also businesses that provide economic benefit to individuals who are low and very low income. So remember, the 80% of the area median income is your key for Section 3. Next slide. So how do you meet and what are the Section 3 goals? So 30% of all new hires working on the project should be Section 3 eligible. So they should be earning between 80% of the area median income. And 10% of the total dollar amount of your construction project can be deemed to a Section 3 business. Now, we understand that meeting those requirements might be challenging, and HUD understands that also. And HUD, if we cannot meet this requirement, each contractor will be required to provide a written explanation why failing to meet those goals. So who are the benefits? We can look at a Section 3 resident is anyone who resides in a public housing development. And the City of Bridgeport, there are a number of public housing units right around the project site. Or any individual, like we said before, who owns 80% or below of the area median income for the project location. There are also a few Section 3 businesses, And a Section 3 business, any business that is owned 51% or more by a Section 3 resident, or a business that has 30% or more of Section 3 residents within a 3-year period, or any business that commits to 25% or more of its contracts awards to anyone who meets the qualifications in terms of being a Section 3 business. Next slide. So when you look at this project, we got to say what kind of opportunities are available for Section 3 individuals or Section 3 businesses. So we have a list that we have compiled just for you. This list is not inclusive, but we want to ensure that you understand what kind of opportunities are available for these Section 3 individuals or businesses. Next slide. So how do you meet those Section 3 individuals or their businesses? And you have to ensure that you communicate to the target audience. You can provide training also if they're not yet trained in the respective fields, and also provide job opportunities for them. So you can actually contact the Section 3 public housing development within the city of Bridgeport. You can distribute flyers at the job site or also at these developments. You can post signs along your project site, or you can place an ad in a local newspaper. These are all ways that you can market to Section 3 individuals and businesses. Very important to document your marketing plan that you have for this project in the event that after doing all of these different marketing plans that you are not able to meet the requirement, you can use that for justification as to the reason why you did not meet the minimum requirements for Section 3. Next slide. So in essence, the purpose of Section 3 is to ensure, that employment and other economic opportunities generated by HUD funding will be able to benefit the individuals who live within the city of Bridgeport, specifically for this project. So we're coming in as a new entity, and we want to ensure that the people who reside within this project get a financial benefit. So Section 3 is a critical requirement for the Rebuild by Design project. It ensures that the recovery process, it benefits the local and the low-income community members. As a contractor, it is essential to integrate Section 3 compliance into your bids and your operations from recruitment to reporting. We encourage everyone who is willing to bid on this project to take a proactive step to understand and to meet these requirements, because they will be a key factor in the successful execution of this project. We have provided links to HUD Section 3 informational videos just for your review. So feel free to peruse those videos for more information regarding this requirement. We thank you for your attention and look forward to working with you on the Rebuild by Design project. Thank you.